Hey there, and welcome to this week's I've Decided podcast. I'm Kim Martin, founder of I've Decided and host of your show today. So excited that you are here listening to us. Maybe you're watching in video on social media, or maybe you're listening to the podcast and just hearing us. Wherever you are, we're happy that you are here. And our topic of discussion, our weekly winning word, is expansive. And so the question I have for you today is, how expansive is your life? And of course, as always, I have an awesome guest with me. So today is none other than Jeannie Quick. Hey, Jeannie.
Thank you for having me.
I'm happy you're here. And Jeannie is the founder of Dream Outside the Lines. So I thought, what better person to have a conversation with about living an expansive life than my really good friend and really my go-to realtor too. She is a realtor as well. But we're very like-minded in the fact that we like to help people achieve their goals and dreams and just connect them to the resources that they need to be successful. So I couldn't think of a better person, Jeannie, than to have you with me today.
And this is a perfect time of the year because we're going into 2023. So you want to expand and you want to see.
Absolutely. It's the time of year to really think about your life, right? And to think
Right.
about the things that you want to do different. So when I think about expansive, and I said this in our weekly winning resource that we send out to our members, I think about the ocean or a vast like a meadow, like that, field that you can just see forever and ever and ever. That's usually what you think of when you think of the word expansive. What do you get a visual of when you think of expansive? When you saw the word for the first time, did you get just this thought in your mind about something, or
Just unendless, that it goes on like space,
like the universe?
Yeah, you look out in space and you just keep seeing the clouds and everything just keep going, and you can't see it at the end of it, the same way you said about a meadow or ocean or something like
The
that.
sky.
You
It
don't
just goes forever.
It just keeps going, and there's really no beginning and there's no end.
Right.
It's there.
Exactly. Well, the definition of expansive says that it's covering a wide area in terms of space and scope, and having a capacity or a tendency to expand. And that's kind of, what I was looking at. I was like, okay, so if we think about expansive and we think about the sky, the ocean, the universe, like you said, no beginning, no end, it just goes on forever. How often do we look at our lives like we're expansive? Like, are we capable? Do we have a tendency to expand, to grow, to constantly, you know, go above and beyond where we are today? And so that was kind of the mindset that I wanted all of us in our community
It's
to.
it's kind of like our mind and everything. We think it could only hold so much,
Right.
but we keep putting more and more in it. And I remember being in high school and they said, it there is no end to it, that you just keep putting more and more into it and it just keeps expanding. So it doesn't say, that's it, I'm not holding anymore. You just keep putting it in there.
Absolutely.
And it
So
takes it.
you have no choice but to expand, right? The more information you put in, the more you expand, the more you grow. But it is a responsibility and it takes work to, to constantly grow and expand. But when you have, if I believe this with all my heart, and I know that you do too, it's, when you live with an expansive life, with an expansive mindset, you just have a better opportunity of achieving the goals and dreams that you have, even those big dreams, like you say.
You're right. And I think you have to sit down and you got to know where you've been and where you're at right now to where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take and see, where was I at, and expand, make that more. Where am I at right now and how can I expand? How can I make it better? And take maybe the things out that didn't work in the year before or the last 5 years, and expand and put new ones in there and blossom out that way.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you help us do with your organization, Dream Outside the Lines. It's about creating vision boards,
Right.
right? Creating that roadmap to your dreams,
Right.
and putting those pictures on that vision board so you can see.
Sometimes we forget, and we always have these pictures of where we want to go or what we want to do. But when you have a vision board, that's your vision that you can sit there and you can look at it across from your desk or on the wall or wherever it's at. So you can see, I want to be the best of whatever you are, or I
Mm-hmm.
want to run a race, or even some of the things you want to buy, because those things cost money. So you have to expand to what you're making so
Absolutely.
you can go ahead and buy the things that you want.
I know. I'm so excited because, well, I'll just kind of jump right in here for a second so we can talk about it. But we talk in the weekly winning article that we send out to our members. I shared that most of the time we make decisions based off our fears and anxieties, and so we don't take those leaps of faith that we need to, because it kind of holds us back. But that expansive life, living with an expansive mindset, is really the opposite of fear. It's saying, I'm afraid, but I'm going to do this anyway because I want to be better. I want to know more. And so we talked about 7 tactics that will help you live an expansive life. And one of those tactics is to get visual, right? And so this Thursday morning at our community networking, can't spit it out. Our community networking and learning, our CNL, is the first Thursday of the month from 8:30 to 10. We are creating vision boards. And so if you are in the Peoria area and you can show up in person this Thursday morning from 8:30 to 10 at our I Decided community room,
Right.
You can build your own vision board, and you're going to lead us through that. And it is an opportunity to get that, your dreams and those goals. And I need a new one because and that's what I was going to say. I'm super excited about this opportunity, and what you just said, to solidify what you just said. You have to do new boards on a regular basis. You don't just do one vision board forever and then that's it, because I've almost accomplished. There's only 2 things on that board that I haven't accomplished that I have to move to my new board. And one is my purple jet. We might keep moving that one from board to board. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes to get that one to come to fruition. And then secondly is the beach house, my beach house in Florida. And I'll keep moving that over to board till I make that happen too. But you got your big dreams like that, those crazy dreams that people laugh at. I mean, every time I say that's an inside joke within our I've Decided. The purple jet is I've Decided inside joke. But those are your big dreams. Those are those dreams that just seem so outrageously unrealistic and impossible, but you're just like, you know what? Anything's possible.
Well, how boring. Just think of how boring it is if you had one vision board and never made another one. Because our life changes. We have new goals. We have new dreams. We dream every night. Okay, those dreams, they start out as a dream, then they become a vision, then they become a goal, and then you finish that goal. And that when you finish that goal, you're going to replace it with a new one.
Right.
So you constantly, I have people that I say, did you make a vision board? And they say, yeah, I did that 10 years ago. And I go, how's that working for you?
Right.
Because you want to have your big yearly one, but then you really want to have a quarterly one, because you have 4 seasons. Each one of those seasons or each one of those quarters are different.
That's right.
So you want to do that. But every day we see a vision board, because if you have any post-its and you post those post-its around, that's a vision board.
That's a form of a vision,
Right.
right? And so really, when we talk about the 7 tactics that will help you live a more expansive life, and get visual is one of those. It's just kind of like that old saying, to see it is to believe it.
Right.
So if you put it in pictures on that board and you can see it and you're looking at it every day, it starts to become a reality. Like it is, anything you put on there, including purple jets, is possible. It's, if you can dream it, it can happen, right?
Right.
And so imagining the possibilities for your life and envisioning what it looks like is a way to improve your chances of achieving your goals and dreams. And so that's exciting. The date, this Thursday, September 1st.
Right.
8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Right.
And it's free. It's complimentary from I've Decided. We've partnered and collaborated with Jeannie with Dream Outside the Lines to lead this workshop. And we're all going to leave with our very own vision board. So if you come, you'll get to leave with your vision board and learn one of these tactics that you can apply to your life for having an expansive
And you
mindset.
might not totally finish it that morning, but it gives you a basis that you can go forward and finish
or
it.
finish it. Yes, absolutely. And I know we'll have some of our members that aren't in the area joining us on Zoom from home, and they know they'll have to have their own scissors and glue and boards where they are, but they can hear us and they can tune in and they can assign that time on their calendar to
Right.
work on their vision boards, and it
And
just helps them to stay on track.
we'll have everything for you. The only thing that is, if you have extra magazines or whatever like that and you want to get rid of them, you can bring them and donate them, or bring them and look at them and that, but this is where you want to start.
Yes.
So come with us and let's
get
start
started.
this roadmap.
Yeah. All right. And the other one, it's funny, you kind of touched on this. And as I said, we need to seek higher. But you when you were talking about, your dreams change, you accomplish one goal and then you need to set another goal. And that's exactly what I'm talking about when I said seek higher. So while you're traveling through this journey called life, you never really arrive. Right? There's no, until it's over, until you're at the end, until you take your last breath, there's always more to do, more to learn, more to see. I said success is a moving target. It's constantly ever evolving and ever changing. So you have to reevaluate where you are and your goals and take a look at it. You suggest creating a vision board at least every quarter? Is that what you suggest? If you possibly can?
If you possibly can,
Okay.
because you're going to have these small things that need to be done, like in that quarter and that. But it's also looking forward to something. I read an article yesterday, and I believe it was an older lady that doesn't leave the house a whole bunch and that. And she says you need to put something on your calendar, like maybe every day or every week or something, because it's something that you look forward to.
Right.
And she said that she put on her calendar, next Tuesday, I'm picking all the tomatoes off the vines. It was going into fall and winter. And that, so, I mean, who wants to pick tomatoes off the vine?
Some people love it, Jeannie.
but it give her something to look forward to. So when you put those things on that vision board or you put them on that calendar, it's giving you that inner feeling of looking forward to something.
Absolutely. Yeah. So get visual, seek higher, discover tenacity. Be tenacious, right? Why is it so important? Well, there are many reasons, but the most impactful is it allows you to see temporary hardships in the context of a greater goal. So if you're tenacious, meaning that you're going after something, with a desire to achieve it, like your eye is on the prize, your eye is on the purpose, the mission, and you can overcome some of those obstacles when they come your way because you have the tenacity to do that. It's like the resilience, right?
You're kind of prepared for it. You're prepared for, okay, this is the goal, but yet in a way I know all these hurdles I have to go through to get there. So it prepares you to go forward and farther.
Yeah. And it gives you confidence, right? So when you discover tenacity, you have the confidence and the determination to find a way no matter what. So I still come back to the vision boards. It's the same. When you see those goals on the vision boards, if a life obstacle comes your way, you can still say, this is still my goal. I may have got knocked down, but I'm going to get back up because I'm not there yet. I'm going to keep going.
And it might open you up to having more goals,
Mm-hmm.
because you get that goal and you're almost done, and you think, oh, okay, here I got this other goal, and then I add this other goal. And also, when we're doing this, we're teaching the younger generation. That's what we need to do. We need to teach that younger generation to have those goals and to have those dreams. And if
Absolutely.
we don't do it, who's going to teach them?
Yeah, that's so true. And how to accomplish them, right?
Right.
Like not just say to. It's so funny because I see this everywhere. It's like there's the solutions everywhere. It's kind of like if you think about some wanting to live a healthy lifestyle, there is a place you can work out on every corner, literally, right? And they're all great in their own right. It just depends on what you're looking for. There's nutritionists all over the place, dietitians. There's all these good programs. The solutions are there, but the processes of helping people understand how to stick with their goal, how to stay with it, how to create that mindset where you have discipline and you have an expansive mind to accomplish those things. That's the missing link, don't you think?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the solutions are there. It's teaching people how to follow those steps to success and showing them that it is a process, that success is a process.
Right. And anything you do, you've got to, as you say, put the stake in the ground, and you got to go forward. You can sit there, you can make this vision board and you can sit there and look at it, but unless you're willing to go towards those and get those goals and everything, you're just sitting there looking at it.
Absolutely. I agree. And then, of course, you got to look deeper. And when I talk about deeper, I talked about relationships and connections. You always call yourself the connector. I love
You
that.
call me the connector.
I named her the connector. We got a few people within our community that I could put that title on. I think of Jackie. You and Jackie remind me a lot of each other. But yes, connectors, just people that truly want to help other people and connect you to, introduce you. It's like you meet someone, you're like, oh my gosh, you need to meet this person. Or, right. Your mind automatically goes down that path because you're just always thinking of how someone can help someone else.
Well, that's where the goals and everything, and that's why it's so nice to do the workshop with other ones, because what you do is you end up picking up what your goal is. Oh, I know this person, you need to meet this person, or you need to do this, and that helps you spring forward.
Yeah.
And it's also accountability. Everybody needs accountability.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a piece of the success puzzle.
Right.
The 10 pieces of the puzzle, one piece is accountability and support and motivation. And so just coming together as that group. But relationships and connections are one of the most important factors in living on an expansive level. And I asked this question, and it's so true. Is there really anything that trumps trying to understand what people need and then serving them to help them achieve it? Is there really anything better than that? I mean, that is what life is all about, right?
And we just experienced this with being shut down with COVID and that, and not being around other people, how much that we've missed that. And this is where we got to turn around and we got to come back. We got to come back face to face and help each other to achieve their goals and go forward in that, instead of feeling like we're all quarantined again.
I think that's so true too. And I think one of the downsides to there are many, but one of the downsides to the pandemic has been the isolation. So when we talk about living an expansive life and that going deep in your relationships and connections is probably one of the most important factors of that. We got to get back to those relationships. We cannot isolate ourselves. It is not. We are not. That's not what humans are designed to do, and it is not good for you. It's not healthy. Sometimes it feels that way. If you want to separate, it's like, Lord, just lock me away from this craziness, and I'll just stay by myself. It might feel like it's a good thing. And every now and then it is to get yourself together, but not on an ongoing basis. We were born for a relationship,
Right.
and that's so important. And then the other tactic is choose patience. And choose is the key word there. Have you ever heard that old wives' tale? If you pray for patience, you'll get trials.
Tribulations.
Yeah, tribulations. Don't pray
That's
for
why
patience.
I stopped doing that.
Right, because how do you get patience? Well, you have to practice patience. Patience is a mental muscle, right? So the only way to become patient is to choose patience so that you practice and you get stronger. So when you practice, that's like the weight, right? So if patience is the mental muscle, then practicing patience is like lifting weights and it gets you stronger. So that's where that comes from, that old wives' tale. But there's a lot of truth to that. And the other thing about being patient is um, there's a great balance, especially when you're big dreamers like you and I are, right? And hopefully some of the people that are listening to this podcast, they probably are as well. There's a great balance of saying, I'm very content where I'm at. Like,
Right.
I am so happy in my life, and I am content and grateful and thankful. With patience comes gratitude, right? It says, I am grateful for this moment right here and right now, but I'm optimistically waiting in hopes for something better, and I'm working towards something better. So it's living in the moment patiently, right, with expectation that the best is yet to come. I don't know a better way to describe it, but there is that fine balance.
Sometimes I don't think when we're wanting patience, it's not kind of like with the situation as much as it is with the other person. You know, it's like, why are they doing this or why are they doing that? And, it's like, give me patience with this person. But I think we've got to the point that sometimes we need to look at that person and think, what are they going through?
Yes.
I mean, where can we help them?
Mm-hmm.
And because we can have more patience with them if we understand what they're going through. So I think sometimes understanding where they're at and what they're going through, it's easier to help them and it helps us.
Mm-hmm.
If we help them, we're going to be helped.
Yeah. Well, and that reminds me of what the next tactic is, and that's give grace.
There we go.
It's exactly what you just said. It's giving grace. But there was one other. Oh, I know one point about patience before we move into grace. But what you're talking about falls so much into that giving grace. But with choosing patience, it allows you to relish in the moment, so you don't miss the goodness right here and right now. Right? If you're constantly impatiently wanting that next best thing, or you're frustrated because you're not getting what you want right now because this is what you want here and now, you're blinded to the goodness that's happening in the moment. So if you choose patience, it allows you to relish in the here and now and appreciate all that's going on right here in this moment.
We're always looking for the next shiny object.
Mm.
And if we're content with what we have, then it seems like it makes it so much easier. There's a thing is bloom where you're planted.
Yes.
So, sometimes we have to, we're always worrying about, I'm going to move here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Just be patient.
Right.
Where you're at.
It's kind of like my beach house. I mean, I visualize that beach house on a regular basis, but I don't miss what's happening in the goodness of what I got going now.
We'll put you in a river house.
No, beach house. I love, but every time I pull up to my home where I live now, and I see all the work that a lot of it's been done by my husband, and I pull up and I know how far we've come in the home that we live in now. I just say, thank you, God, that this is such a great house, and I have such a great life, and it's full of our great children, and I have a wonderful husband, and all of these things that I'm so grateful for. And I don't pull up in my house going, just when am I going to have that beach house? I'm so, no, I would miss all the beauty here. I always think about and hope for the best. I pray and believe with all my heart that one day I'm going to have that beach house, but I'm not to the sacrifice of enjoying what I have here and now. It's kind of that same example.
I think
right?
It's everything. I think the friends we have, the
Yes.
home we have, the job we have.
Yes.
Sometimes, we have to be happy we have a job,
Yeah.
Right. And that, and work at that. If you're at a job and working for an employer, make that the best, be patient and everything, because then that's going to get you to owning your own business if that's what you want.
That's right. Do the best you can where you are with what you have.
Yes.
Until God says it's time to move to the next place.
Right.
You always are working your hardest wherever you are.
Right.
Hey, I'm preaching this to myself. It's easier said than done, but that's the goal, right? We're not perfect. We're humans, which moves us into giving grace. And not only do we need to give grace to other people, but we need to give grace to ourselves when we make mistakes.
Right.
I think sometimes it's easier to give other people grace, but then we're really hard on ourselves. If we fall short or we make a mistake, then we're like beating ourselves up, that negative self-talk, and that can really hold us back.
Well, and God gives us grace every single
Absolutely.
day. And if He can give us grace, we've got to give other people grace and then also ourselves. You're right.
And I'm going to read this because I don't want to butcher it, but this is one of the things that I wrote in the Weekly Winning article. It says, grace is not a complicated 10-step methodology. It really isn't. It's simply acknowledging that a person has more going on in their heart and mind that meets the eye. And if someone is acting out in a certain way, a lot of times they're acting out with anger, they're acting out in a bad behavior of some sort, or they've done something wrongful to someone, right? To you, to us, or we've seen it happen to someone else. You can bet the behavior is a product of hurt. And we've heard this before, hurt people hurt people. And so if we can somehow tap into that understanding and not act out of revenge or hold on to anger or bitterness or carry a grudge. Rest her soul, my sister, my middle sister.
Right.
Our family lost her last year. She is she'd give anybody the shirt off of her back for real, like without hesitation. She was just the most giving, fun-loving person, unless you teeter off. And if that happened, you might as well hang it up and forget it, because that was the end of that. If you hurt her, like, she was so loving, but if you hurt her feelings, that was what really got her. If you took advantage of something she did good for you, or you hurt her feelings, that was the end of that. And she could hold that grudge like nobody's business. And it's funny because that's a part of who she was, but in hindsight we can laugh at it, but in reality that is not any way to live an expansive life. It's going to hold you back when you carry around that heavy burden of grudges and spite, right, without a better word. So instead, give grace, love. Hard to do, easy to say. Yes. Hard to really do. I wish I could think of that scripture. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love holds no grudge.
I don't. Sorry.
Something like that.
Something
like that. But give grace. It'll change your life. That's what I have found. Yeah. I have found that it has changed my life. I certainly have had to let go of some things, forgive myself, forgive others. And it's changed. It's life changing. So
you just have to practice it.
True. And then last but not least, these are in no particular order. We're talking about the 7 tactics that will help you live an expansive life, is to be flexible. So you got to bend without breaking.
Right.
You got to be able to roll with the punches, baby. We've learned that in the last couple of years, huh?
You just back up and regroup.
Yeah, just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Right? Back, I like that, Jeannie. Back up and regroup. I think when you're adaptable and you're flexible, the one thing positive that comes out of it and helps you really have that expansive mindset is you're not afraid of change. You just know it's going to come. Change is inevitable. There's something always changing. So
there's going to be something every single day that's going to be right in front of you. And it's how you react to it is how you can go forward. You can be grumpy and cuss somebody out at the stoplight or whatever like that. What does that do?
Right.
And that, so
it only hurts you.
Yeah.
It just puts you in a bad mood.
So you have to choose how you're going to go from there, and go on with the day. Don't let it ruin your whole day.
Yeah. One of our speakers, we had a speaker at one of our conferences, talked about buoyancy, right? Bouncy.
Oh.
You got to be, you got to bounce back. So that was kind of the analogy that she used, right? Just be bouncy. So, so like a ball, right? You bounce back. Or she used the buoy, in the ocean. It's just floating and moving and bouncing around. So it's so true. I think if we are willing to expand, be flexible, grow, it changes.
I think
it changes us
when
as
you
individuals.
have something negative. A couple weeks ago, when we had our meeting and everything, I had a lunch planned on Friday, and we met here on Thursday. But on Wednesday night, I was going to have this lunch on Friday, pool party, all this, and Wednesday night I come home and I have a green pool.
Oh yeah, you said that.
So it's like, how do I react to that? And it's like, do I cancel the lunch? Do I do this? And it's like, you know what? Which we did put a bunch of chlorine in it and everything like that. But okay, so we stared at the green pool. At least it didn't have any fish in it, like the Illinois River, So anyway, and by Saturday it was cleared up.
Isn't that funny?
But again, this is how you deal with things. I could have reacted and got really upset, yelled at my husband, which wasn't his fault.
Right. But you could have blamed him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We always want to blame someone
right.
else.
You could have blamed him. It's your fault the pool's green. You didn't put the right chemicals in there.
Yeah. You didn't do this or you didn't do that, because it's always never
I don't blame
our fault.
I don't blame Joe for anything.
Don't believe it.
So yeah, but yeah, and that's exactly what we're talking about. That's a great example, Jeannie, on rolling with the punches. Life's going to happen. Things are going to happen. Unfortunately, we're going to get flat tires sometimes, right. and we can get out and have a hissy fit, or we can take a step back, get ourselves together, and go, okay, what do we need to do here to get through this moment, and just to take it for what it's worth and move on and do the best we can. And that's what being flexible is all about. And it also goes back to choosing patience too. It's saying, all right, well, maybe there's a reason why I'm sitting here on the side of the road and I'm not moving down the road. I always think about that, right? I think when I used to get so mad when I get stuck in traffic jams. I used to get road rage terribly, if I'm to be honest. I'd get so mad. But several years ago, I decided to give up that and to really to choose patience when I was in the car driving. And that's really a life changer too. It sounds crazy. I decided to give up road rage. And it sounds crazy, but I think a lot of people have it. I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. But now I've practiced it to the point to where it's very rare. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it is very, 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 very rare that I get angry or upset in the car. If I'm sitting in traffic, I will just sit there and pray and think, well, Lord, I guess you're protecting me from something down the road.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. Maybe I just need to sit there for a minute and take a time out.
I think
I look at it like a time out,
I think at the end of the day, just if you can take even 5 or 10 minutes and look back at things that happen that day.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're really bad and everything, how could I react different?
Mm-hmm.
What in that position could I have changed it better? And maybe that'll help because it's going to come up again.
Oh yeah.
Same thing,
Practicing,
same
yeah.
flat tire, same green pool.
How can
You know.
how can you react better next time? Very
Right.
good point. Well, that's awesome. So hopefully you picked up something from those 7 tactics that will just help you expand your mindset a little bit more, because an expansive mindset allows you to achieve and do things you didn't think were possible. And it broadens your capacity and tendency to seek a greater, enriched, and more fulfilled life, which is success.
Right.
When you live a enriched and fulfilled life, you are successful. That is what success is all about. It's not just about fame, fortune, and purple jets.
No.
At all, right? Though those things are good and it could be a part of it, but it's not the purpose behind it. It's your peace of mind. It's what makes you feel fulfilled. And so if you could use some support, accountability, some motivation, being a part of a community where you're with like-minded people who are working towards being the best versions of ourselves, and you have something you want to accomplish and just need a platform to make it happen, we are your community. And we would love for you to join us. And you can join real quickly at ivedecided.org. And if you pick the Success membership, which is our basic membership right now, you can join for an introductory rate of only $7. And at the end of the month, you have the opportunity to decide that it's been a great choice and you can continue on at our normal monthly rate of $39, or you can say it wasn't what you were interested in and you can cancel and you're only out $7. So it's the greatest time to join and hop on for a month and see what you think. We'd love to have you. Jeannie, thanks for being here. Jeannie, founder of Dream Outside the Lines, my good friend, my go-to realtor. She can sell your house too. If you need a realtor, she's the girl for you. You've been doing that for how many years?
20 years.
20 years. And and she just knows everything about it. So down. The thing that I love about you as a realtor is that you're very down to earth and you know the ins and outs, and you just tell people the reality of what's going to happen. Like, this is kind of how it is. And, this is the reality of what your house is worth, what we can sell it for. If you really want to move it quickly, what you need to do to make it sellable, right? All those things you know about.
Yeah.
And she can help you build a vision board all while you're selling the house. How cool is that?
Well, I use that a lot because you're wanting to get to certain things. So you want that roadmap. So you need the vision.
The roadmap to your dreams. That's right. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for being here, Jeannie. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we look forward to being with you again next week.